This time on Roadkill, we're driving my '39 Ford a quarter way across the country to look at a project car that you don't want to miss.
This time on Roadkill!
It's a muscle truck showdown at Holly LS Fest West, and I win! Here's what's supposed to happen in this episode, but you never know. We want to take our very first trip to Holly's LS Fest West in Las Vegas, and we're taking Finnegan's '67 Chevy truck.
I'm so excited about this because we're going to experience the truck together, because the truth is I've owned it since 2007. It's got about 400 miles on it. Like, I legit haven't driven this truck anywhere. I don't think I've ever washed it. And it was thrown together in a week at my house, and me and you now get to go to Vegas.
Great. Yeah. I've seen 200-mile-an-hour burnouts. Can we do that?
Oh, once.
Oh, they have a burnout pit at LS Fest. They have burnout pit, autocross, drag racing, all of that.
I want to do all of that.
Me too. So show me this thing.
So this is my 1967 Chevrolet C10 pickup. It is a factory small window short bed truck. I bought this from a farmer in St. Helena, California, way back in 2007 when I was the editor of Sport Truck Magazine. I spent about a year with my friends building it, and eventually I ran out of money and ended up having to sell this to a friend of mine. 10 years later, I run into that same friend at a car show. He tells me he has the truck, he hasn't driven it, it's been sitting under a car cover the whole time, and I was able to buy it back without any of the drivetrain in it. Then I spent about a week and a half with all my friends throwing this entire truck together with an LT4 Chevy crate engine, a 6XD sequential gearbox. We took out all the airbags, changed it over to hydro shocks. We blew up the clutch like the next day doing 6-gear burnouts, and it's never been on a proper road trip. So right now, Freiburger and I, we're gonna take this thing around the block, find out all the last-minute things that are still wrong or not tight. We're gonna drive it all the way to Vegas for LS Fest, where we're gonna do burnouts, we're gonna go racing, we're gonna have as much fun as we can to find out, does it work, and is it gonna catch on fire? All right, so these are suspension, up and down. So it's slower than airbags, but there's only one battery. The battery that starts the truck is the battery that runs the suspension.
Is this gonna ride like a mini truck?
No, it rides great.
Is it a triple disc clutch?
No, it's a twin, but I blew it up a few weeks ago, put a brand new one in. We didn't have a flywheel for it. So we just DA'd the flywheel and stuck the new clutch on it.
Okay.
So I'm trying to be gentle because, I mean, you know what happens. Yeah, the brakes are awful. Like that's all of it right there. That needs looking at. And I think it's because we have the wrong master cylinder.
Have to use the clutch to shift?
You shouldn't have to, right? They make a box for this thing. This shifter has a strain gauge built into it.
Yeah.
And there's a box. Hello. There's a box that goes in between the coils in the ECU, interrupts the ignition when you pull the shifter.
Yeah.
I don't have it installed. So I'm clutching it, but you can just flip the throttle and grab it, and it'll do it without the clutch. It's kind of like the transmission in Blasphemy, but a lot easier to drive around town.
Okay, brakes first.
Brakes first. Needs to go back in the shop, for sure. It's uncomfortably close, my head, to the ceiling, and the brakes are almost non-existent. So we're gonna pull it back in here and do some work, and then leave for Vegas, but also get doors on the way. Because these stupid doors not only don't have door handles, there's no mirrors, it's really dangerous. So on the way, I'd like to go get doors.
Yeah, they're bad.
They suck.
All right, I'll pull you in.
First thing we have to do is take the seat out of the truck. I know that sounds weird. However, the master cylinder for the front brakes, the rear brakes, and the clutch pedal are all behind the dash. So this is just gonna get way easier to take the seats out. And then once they're out, I'll talk Dave into helping me lower them. All right. It's not so bad.
Yeah, it just barely squeaked.
Now, I'm gonna take the cluster out Unfortunately, when I put that pedal setup in there, the dash was not in the truck. This has a Willwood under dash pedal setup. These are 1 1/8" bore master cylinders. One for the front brakes, one for the rear, one for the clutch pedal. All of it is too big for the system that I have. By reducing the size of these, when I step on the brakes, it's going to increase the amount of pressure going to the brakes. And so it's going to stop better, but this is going to be a pain in the butt beyond the fact that you're feeling the reservoirs behind the dashboard. So we have all this fluid here that we need to get out and get this out and replace everything. And yeah, that's why I took the seat out of the truck, why the dash has to come apart. It's going to be fun.
While he's doing that, let me show you kind of how the master cylinder setup on this thing works. There's 2 masters, a front and a rear. And you've got a push rod coming out of both of them, just like you would on a regular master cylinder. And then you have here what's called a balance bar. And then your pedal is pressing on a bearing in the middle of that balance bar. So this is what it looks like when it's at rest. Because we have the front brake push rod longer than we do the rear brake push rod. When you step on the pedal, the balance bar is going to even out like this. Therefore, the push rod will go deeper into the front master cylinder than it does into the rear. And what that does is it's going to initiate pressure sooner on the front. It's also going to displace more volume on the front. And basically what that's doing is balancing your front and rear brakes. You want the front to activate a little bit before the rear. Think of it on your conventional car about how you might use an adjustable proportioning valve and you want the front to hit just a little bit sooner than the rear. This is sort of the race cool guy way to do that.
Well, there's part of our problem. Okay, see that in there? That is a really, really small piston. Our new caliper, really, really big piston, so this is gonna have way more clamping force for the same pressure. These are actually rear brake calipers, and how they ended up on the front of my truck, I have no idea. I'm gonna blame myself. I own the truck. Clearly, it's my fault, but this is gonna help a lot.
Now we have all 4 brake hoses loose, and we're gonna try and pump all the fluid through the system so that we don't have to gush brake fluid everywhere underneath Mike's dash when we take the master cylinder out. We were thinking about just squirting one end at a time, but here's the deal. Let's say you only disconnected the front, you've got this balance bar situation, and you pump all of this fluid out, and so there's none in here, but the rear still has fluid and therefore is still making pressure. That means there's no pressure happening on this push rod, and there's pressure here, so that balance bar is gonna get all cattywampus, and it's not gonna push all the fluid out of the other master cylinder. So what we're hoping we can do is sort of out of all 4 at the same time. Okay, I'm gonna start pushing fluid through. Is it doing the... It's not squirting? Well, no wonder you don't have brakes. That's weird. Okay, I'm gonna start pushing fluid through. It's sucking air back. I need to squirt it and leave it down for a second.
It's coming out.
Our goal is to get the master cylinders out, and that means we've got to take the steering column out in order to get to them. Next up, those little white reservoirs are coming off. Aha. It came out remarkably clean. I didn't get any fluid everywhere. Now, this whole Cingolini should come out of here. There we go.
See, that wasn't so bad. We just had to take out the gauges, the steering column. You know, no big deal.
Watch the drippage. That could have been worse. Could have been a lot better.
So for the last 10 minutes, we've been telling you all about this magical pedal assembly that has 3 master cylinders on it. And this is it right here. We finally got it out of the truck. We have the ones for the brakes, but not the clutch. Should be here tomorrow. Ideally, you would bench bleed these, which is essentially purging the air out of each one by filling it with fluid and then slowly stroking the pedal the full length of the chamber. Because once it's in the car, the pedal won't stroke the whole way. It will not get all the air out of here. The issue is, if you put these reservoirs on top of here, this won't go back in the show truck. We need to devise a way to bench bleed it out here, take the reservoirs off, get it back in there without spilling any fluid, or we lose the shop.
We're still waiting on parts for the brake stuff, so we're trying to move ahead with that, and we're dealing with the seats. The whole floor in this thing, or at least the tunnel, is moved up, so the seat bracket can't go down far enough. So we're gonna modify it to make that work.
Like in a stock truck, this would be fine. Your head wouldn't be anywhere near the roof. In my truck, not so much. These are just pieces of C-channel aluminum that I welded a plate to the bottom.
Out driver's side, so this is out driver's side. We're gonna test fit it in the truck, get it where we want it, bolt these on, which will basically lock down the adjuster so it can't be moved. But who would ever want to move the seat up in this thing?
Yeah, I don't need less legroom, I need more legroom. Oh, that's pretty good. I'll be able to see the gauge. Yeah, this is good.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, the seats are in and done. While we were doing that, our clutch master cylinder showed up, so we can install that on the pedal assembly so that Finnegan can put the pedals back in the truck.
Good news, I have everything I need to bleed the master cylinders, and the key are these radiator bypass caps. I'm gonna use them to cover up the reservoir right here. I'm gonna fill this here, bleed it here on the bench, then I'm gonna remove this, cap it, and I believe if I cap it, I can keep the level of fluid above the top of the piston area, keep air out of it, put the whole thing in the car, pull my rubber cap back off, put the reservoir back on, fill the reservoir, connect the line without essentially breaking the seal, putting air in the system. All right, one down. Now lift that up. Trying to bend it over because it's gonna.
Woo!
Move this away, and it should not have air in it. Oh no! Oh no! Ah! Dave. Oh no! Oh no! The cap came off. But we didn't lose the fluid. How about a zip tie around the thing, right over the top? It won't slip off. Or a zip tie around the circumference.
It's giving me anxiety.
Boom.
Got it?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Want to see a less than ideal position for driving? My foot's on the gas. This is where the clutch pedal is now. Slight miscalculation with where it needed to be adjusted. The problem is we have to remove the whole thing to adjust it. The pedals are way too close to the dash. We needed them to go this way towards the firewall so that you're not driving with your knees in your chest.
To adjust the pedal position, we have to shorten the rods that activate all these master cylinders.
All right, let's try again.
That's looking promising.
Look, I could see this probably getting into the steering wheel. It seems like it's still too far out there.
To shorten it, we'll have to cut that rod.
Okay.
All right, we're taking this all apart again because the pedal height wasn't right, and to adjust that, you have to adjust the length of these rods, and the rods are now bottomed out, so we need to cut ½ an inch off each one of them and put it all back together. You can sense the joy in my voice. It's a party now.
Oh yeah, much better.
We're finally assembling it for the final time again. The real trick here is going to be getting fluid in that thing. Yay. Wow, that is a win. We're gonna bleed the brakes now, and it's a little bit different with the dual master cylinder than it is when you normally see us bleed brakes. Typically, we will bleed the rear brakes and then move on to the front. In this case, we need to do side to side. And so you'll see Mike on the front and Mason at the back. They both need to work the bleeder screws at the same time. Willwood calls it a 3-man bleed.
All right, down.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, and down.
Lots of air. Closing. A lot of bubbles. So brakes are bled completely. I'm stoked.
steering column back in.
I'm really glad the brakes didn't work, because when we took the column out the first time, I noticed there were no bolts holding it together. We get to live now and have brakes. All we have left to do is install the gauges and then put the truck up in the air and nut and bolt check the entire thing, because it was assembled in a week. Done. Truck can go in the air now. First, we need to go over the truck from front to back, make sure nothing's gonna fall off. Second, this is where all the action is. The bottom side of this truck is awesome. This is the beautiful part. This is a billet sequential manual gearbox from 6XD. It is race car stuff for the street, and it's incredible. And it's very small and compact and light, and it's shifting nirvana. This is all the original chassis that we made in '06. We now have Mittler Brothers hydro shocks at the front and the rear. The airbags are gone. We added a mandrel bent stainless steel exhaust here that wasn't before. So here is exactly why we need to look under this truck. This is the wiring harness for the O2 sensor that is melted to the header because it wasn't routed well. It's just laying on there. We're just gonna disconnect it. We're gonna move it, employ some zip ties strategically, and it'll be fine after that. Oh yeah, so much better. Let's try the brakes.
Whoa!
We have brakes.
Wow!
Yeah, we
have brakes.
And the clutch, like butter.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Clutch is amazing now.
I feel you should play the music of our people.
I concur. I love that noise.
Have you ever driven it on the highway?
Briefly.
Yeah? How about traffic?
Nope.
You're gonna get to.
Let's see, I got fuel pressures, I got boostesses, I got waters, I got oils.
It was fun while it lasted.
Yes, it was. Yay, Los Angeles. This is why people don't drive cars with stick shifts anymore.
Yeah. All right, that was different. What just happened? It's like it ran away like a diesel.
Yeah, the throttle just, like...
Stuck open.
Stuck. Okay.
I don't like the unpredictability of that.
That is weird. It's like the drive-by-wire pedal just said, hello.
I would stay well back from people.
It wasn't wide open. It was like part throttle. There are so many people here, and they're all driving stock cars. I mean, yeah, their throttles aren't sticking, but are they really living? It's doing it again.
Doing it again?
Yep. Yeah, look, it says TPS error. It's doing it right now. And see the position?
Yep. That's it. It doesn't know.
It's got to be that wiring. Yeah, they told me it's a safety built into it. When it loses voltage, it just shuts off. It cruises. We just drove 80 miles from our tech center in El Segundo to here in Lancaster, California for a very good reason. I need doors for this thing. I made a post on the internet. A cool guy named Johnny, who lives here and has that sweet Nova, responded and said, I have actually 2 sets of doors to choose from, and I'm about to trade him, I think, a hoodie and a hat.
Oh, they're even the right color.
One of them is. This has got glass in it, Freiburger.
Yeah, that is glass. This one, the glass was broken.
Yep.
Dude, this is good. It's got a vent window. It's got a side window. Can I be greedy? Do you have keys to the door? That would be awesome. This will work. And you're down to trade?
Yeah.
All right, cool. No backseats though.
Cheapest doors ever.
That's fine.
This is awesome. I wanted doors for so long. Finally.
Yeah,
Thank you. I appreciate it. Good to meet you, Austin. Thank you. Hotel and beer?
Yeah. All right, that was super cool.
I feel like celebrating. I have a line lock. Want to see it?
You're gonna set her down on the ground?
Yeah. We should leave before the neighbors kill us.
Probably.
New day, new parking lot, new doors. I'm excited about that.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Doors freed.
Okay. You want to work the jack and I'll hold the door? There we go. All right.
The thing about this aftermarket door panel is that it's way larger than anything that ever came on these trucks. These only had a door panel this big, not the full door. So it's super custom.
Yeah. Here's a tip for you guys. The door hardware holding the regulator, the door lock, and the door latch into C10 doors is notorious for seizing up and getting stuck. So the key here is to get a screwdriver that has a hex built into the shaft. And so I'm gonna clamp that on there. I'm gonna push on the end of the screwdriver while turning it with this. Yeah. Undone.
Ta-da!
Go. Next step, we now need to temporarily hang our gutted door because it doesn't have a mirror. I bought mirrors, so we're gonna hang the door in there. I'm gonna get in the driver's seat. Dave's gonna hold the mirror somewhere on the door where I can actually use it and it looks cool. Can you tilt it up? I can't see the bed sides. Can you go in more?
Well, remember the door's not shut all the way, but right now it's as far in as it'll go. Well, we mocked the doors so that we could mock the rear view mirrors so that we could install those before we put all the guts into the door, but then the rear view mirrors were wrong. So now we're unhanging the door and going back to installing guts. Wow, that was awesome. Whew. I'm so impressed.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna be back and forth helping him with this job, but I'm also restoring the other door that hopefully we don't have to take apart. Just gonna lube it all up and like make it work. I'm so proud of myself. The latch mechanism on the driver's side used door was completely rusted solid, and I just fiddled and smacked it and lubed it, and all of a sudden, everything works like a genius.
Apparently we're going to Death Valley, where it's gonna be even hotter. And then we'll probably want to take the doors off because although my truck has air conditioning, of course, it ain't charged.
Does it go down there? Or does it go uphill?
I know it doesn't look like we are done, but we are, in fact, finished assembling both the driver and passenger door. We're just not gonna put them on right now because it's blazing hot out here. So we're gonna once again strap them into the bed, but not before Freiburger signs his handiwork because he expertly reassembled that door, lubing all the critical components so the window goes up and down smooth, the vent window works, the door locks work. He's a man that knows what to do with lube. And before we leave, we're gonna autograph that door because that one is completely empty and useless to me. We're gonna let some fans have it.
Cool.
All right.
Ready?
Let's do this.
I may actually wear the shoulder harness now.
This is a survive the heat thing. The breeze is nice. I like it without the doors.
It's good.
This is nice.
Man, I feel great.
We're gonna make it.
We're doing Las Vegas the hard way. From LA, we took Highway 14 north to 395, which is an awesome scenic corridor. And tonight we're gonna stay in Lone Pine, and we're right outside of Lone Pine in what's called the Alabama Hills, where they've made Western movies since the earliest possible 20s. Like hundreds, if not thousands of movies have been shot in the rock formations around here. And we're in the shadow of Mount Whitney, which is the highest peak in the continental United States. So we're that good. And tomorrow, I think up to Bishop and hang a right across Death Valley and into Las Vegas.
Well, let's go there then.
Yeah, let's go there. I love this truck. I don't need to own it, but I do love it.
So how tall is this mountain that I can't see because the sun is blinding me?
14,505.
Wow. That does not look that tall.
No. Well, that was cool. This was a great day, actually. Yeah. I really liked the no doors. Oh, yeah.
Well, we made it to our hotel, and we have doors with perfectly good door locks, so we're gonna install those doors. So far, so good. There you go. That looks good.
All right, we got to get the doors on this thing. The problem is we want to lock it up tonight, and we found out there's a problem getting them to align, and they have to be on there for racing at LS Fest, and so we have no choice but to get the doors right. That's not going to happen tonight because it's getting dark. We're getting mosquito bitten, so that's all going to happen tomorrow morning. And by the way, tomorrow we also have to drive all the way through Death Valley and get to Las Vegas for LS Fest on Saturday.
Where it's really hot, and we'd like to make that drive without the doors. That'll work for tonight.
That door match is good.
Right? I don't want to take it off, but when it's 101, I won't want it on there either.
Oh, you can leave that one on. I'm taking mine off.
No. We need all the flow for Death Valley.
I didn't tell you this, but I was at a dive bar last night and ran into a biker who said he just rode through yesterday and it was 120 degrees.
120?
120. We're taking the doors off and we're gonna get to Vegas as quickly as we can because if we wait longer, it's gonna be even hotter. And once we get there, we're gonna have to jam and get these doors adjusted and on there so that we can race on Saturday.
Yeah. Yep. Perfect.
Death Valley, 104 miles.
Wow, it's nice out.
Yeah, when you're moving, it's great. When you have no doors, it's awesome. Feel like you want doors at the track, just... Yeah. We're in Panamint Springs near Death Valley, and we stopped to get ice and gas and stuff like that. I'm thinking no.
No plane kill?
No.
Air kill?
There's no way I'm actually, like, flying in this, ever.
Think of the possibilities of the new show.
Air kill.
It'll never make it past the pilot, though.
See what you did.
Yeah.
That was actually really good.
Thank
Did
you.
you check that?
Thank you.
The truck's not even getting hot. I mean, it's not overheating.
No, it's a little spicy because we're actually in Death Valley. Doors are already off. Let's air condition. That seems legit. Triple stack? It's already broken, so this sticker really can't make it any worse. But it does show that we were here. I've never sat on this side of this truck before.
I've never driven a transmission like this before. Dial. Oh, wow, drives good. Okay.
That's right.
Ooh, flat spot there.
Yeah, that's that one little hole in our map.
Okay, easy enough.
have one more gear. Ah, there we go.
And the coolant temp is good.
Happy.
I feel this is going to be a big handful on the autocross.
Could be. I've never done it.
This would have been scary if we had not fixed the clutch and brakes.
Oh, yeah. That'd have been a disaster.
This is the only Roadkill vehicle to have ever survived Death Valley, and I would wager it's the only one that ever could. I love it. I don't want to own it. It has too many, like, gadgets and dingleberries on it for me.
I know what this looks like. Oh, they're putting the doors on again in another hotel parking lot. But it's different this time, I promise you. You know why? Because this is Las Vegas, and we're definitely going to get broke into if we don't put the doors on. But it also means tomorrow we can go to our final destination.
Yeah.
We said we're going to LS Fest?
We're going to Holly LS Fest because we've never been before. You know how I know that? Because we said it right at the top of the show. Let's see if the door fits. Don't slam it because I probably screwed it up. Whoa!
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Let me introduce you to Freiburger.
Cheers.
Body man.
Yeah. Absolutely nailed it. Okay, up. Stop. Oh, it's digging in right here. Look at that.
Oh, it's too low.
No, it needs to go out right there. I've like battled this door on and off a bunch of times, and right now, if I give it a lift, it does close that much, which is good enough to lock it for tonight.
And we have a souvenir. This truck hasn't been very many places, but it's been through Death Valley.
That's way crooked, but you know what? So's the door. All right, tomorrow, LS Fest West.
Yes.
Holly, here we come. We did it.
We did it!
As if Death Valley wasn't enough, we finally made it to our destination, Holly's LS Fest West, here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Boom! And we brought a special guest star right here. Yep, it's the original muscle truck. You've seen this in a bunch of episodes of Roadkill and Roadkill Garage. Been around since the very beginning of the show. It's a 1974 Chevy short bed stepside, and way back in 2006 or 7, I LS swapped it. It's just a LS6. It's stock long block, it's got a cam, it's got headers. I think it makes about 450 horsepower. It's nothing like Mike's truck at all.
Yours was before mine. In
By a
fact,
lot.
I LS swapped mine because I saw yours.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
So we're gonna have a friendly competition, at least right now it's friendly. We're gonna do, I think, the drag strip and the autocross, and if there's time left, maybe we'll throw down some tire smoke.
309. Oh, wow.
All right, let's throw this on the doors, then we have to go through tech, then we're racing. This event we're at is Holly's LS Fest West. This started many, many years ago in Bowling Green, Kentucky, the home of Holly, and I'm pretty sure it was invented by my buddy Bill Tishner. And I remember when he told me, we're gonna do an event only for vehicles powered with General Motors LS engines. This has turned huge. Now there's 2 events, one in the east, one in the west. Here's what it's about. Just having fun with LS stuff. They have drag racing, there's gonna be autocross, and they also have an area where people can go nuts doing burnouts and stuff, street takeover style, but legally. The other thing you'll see here is cars of all years, makes, and models with LSs in them, because Holly makes everything you need to swap those engines, and these days nobody cares about brand loyalty when they're LS fans. So you're gonna see Jeeps, Fords, Mopars, and all sorts of freaky stuff, all LS powered. Okay, here we go. Finnegan should cream me here. The muscle truck used to be fast. It had like a loose converter and 513 gears and a bunch of stuff, and nitrous. But now it's just 3.0 highway gears, stock converter. I'll be super happy if it goes in the low 13s.
I'm gonna do something I've always wanted to do, which is just lay my mini truck flat on the tarmac on a drag strip and do a burnout. Oh, come on. Oh, you said no. Oh, he just ruined my fun.
He can't do a burnout with that trans.
I was gonna do a burnout. He said no. Oh well.
Okay, here we go.
My goal here is not to spin. I don't even know what RPM to leave at. I just don't want to spin.
Yeah, I think he might have stalled it off the line or something like that.
Well, not a lot went right on that run. It felt like I drove through the clutch a little bit. Then, well, it wouldn't go in second gear. And Freiburger kicked my butt once again with less horsepower.
All right, let's see if we can go again. Give Mike a better shot at this.
Let's do a burnout this time.
Burnout for show.
So I got a burnout this time. That's good news.
Yep, see, I spun the tires that time. That big old burnout burned me.
Yay! A lot of wheel hop, but I did beat him that time.
Yep, that's what I get for doing the TV show Burnout. If I just cleaned the tires and gone, I would have been good, but I greased them up.
I sucked less. Yay me! So the 1-2 shift, it broke loose and wheel hopped. The wheel hop was bad enough I had to pedal it and get back in it. And then it wheel hopped a little bit on the 2-3, but not as bad. This is definitely not a drag racing suspension.
All I really care about is a low 13 out of that first pass. They're letting us go again. All right, we're doing best 2 out of 3.
I just went 1261 and beat Freiburger. We are now tied 1-1.
Okay, I guess I won the best 2 out of 3. But you know what? His truck has way more power than mine. It's just a matter of a slower truck is way easier to get off the line on a street tire.
On the 1-2 shift, the truck went sideways. I had to get out of it. He beat me. It's a rare occasion when I beat that guy. So what I have to do is focus on that part. Round 2, kicked his butt. I don't even think we did a round 3, right? I didn't see it, did you?
I feel pretty good.
Oh, you did a good job of red lighting. 002, nice.
002 accidental reaction time. Your best pass was 1261 at 110.
All right.
Yeah, that was fun for me. You can go destroy me at the autocross now, though. Now we've moved over to the autocross at LS Fest, and what's interesting is Chad Reynolds is announcing this thing. He's interviewing Finnegan right now. Chad and I used to work together, and he's the guy who initially helped me build this truck. So it all comes together. What we're gonna do now is hop in together, and we're gonna take a slow pass on the autocross just to make sure we got it memorized. And then I'm gonna be making speed runs, and then we'll get out of this truck and hop into Finnegan's. Okay.
That was awesome. Nice work. Dude, all right. Brakes, 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 brakes. Yes. Straight, straight. Freiburger, this is great.
Going for show instead of for speed here.
No, you're going fast. This is great.
Here's where your truck would have bit the dust.
You got it, you got it. Take it. Go that way.
I blew that.
That way.
That would have been fun.
Nice. All right, straight all the way across. There we go. Straight, 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 straight,
Ah, straight.
Come on, Dulcich. All right, 180 degrees. This is the end.
Yeah.
Woo! You just ran a 60. That's good.
Let's ask him what the scale is. What's the scale on that?
The fast guys were doing about 44.
Okay. How about clapped out junk like this, though?
Well, there's a lot of clapped out junk like that was running 45.
Really? Okay. But are they having this much fun?
No, I promise you, you're having a lot more fun.
Yeah. The brakes are shot.
So's your driving skills.
Yes. I got to agree with that.
Once again, wholly impressed by the muscle truck. It drifts amazing around an autocross course because Freiburger expertly wheeled this thing to a 60-second pass. I gotta be honest, I don't know if I can actually beat that. Okay, no wheel hop.
That's wheel hop. I'm surprised how much body roll it has.
That was awesome. Oh no, there's people on the track.
Oh no.
Is that it?
Are we done? Oh no. They're not moving fast. Oh. Oh.
This feels familiar.
I'm sorry. This is my fault for taking 4 runs. I'm sorry.
Oh, this is roadkill. This is literally roadkill.
We ran out of time. They're sending track workers out for the real event. They had given us time on the track, which was super cool, and I used it all. I have so much guilt. I really do.
I got Freiburgered.
We had fun, though. This thing made it through Death Valley, no problem. I had fun on the drag strip with the muscle truck. With its new highway gear, it ran about what I expected. I fell in love with his truck, which I did not expect to. So to me, it's been a solid roadkill.
And I have something to work on.
Yep.
Like, this doesn't handle all that great.
It was better at the lower ride height.
I wouldn't know. I didn't get to do a whole lap.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching Roadkill.
Soft moonlight on your skin. Can't believe we're here again. Fingers trace the past we had. Holding on, but time won't last. Every whisper, every touch still feels like it's not enough. If this is goodbye, don't let go. Let's make it burn before we fold. Give me one last night, one last dance, one more kiss. If we're breaking, let's lose control. One last night, no turning back. Feel the rush, fade to black. One last breath, one last fight. Stay with me, just one last night.
This time on Roadkill, we bring a redneck limo back to life, drive 500 miles across California, and Freiburger makes his best pass ever in his '56 Chevy. Just not on this one. It was before, you should have seen it. It was incredible.
Did the drive shaft fall out of it? All right, Finnegan, you ready for me to get all literary on you?
Oh, I love this part of the show.
Here it comes.
Yes.
The best laid plans of mouse motors and men may often go awry.
Very smooth.
What do you think? Robert Burns, he was a Scot. It was a poem or something like that. It was
I
great.
believe you.
Steinbeck wrote a book later of Mice and Men. Anyway, the plan that completely went upside down on this episode is that we wanted to take my completely lovable '56 Chevy and race it at the last 4 drag strips in California that I've never been to. Unfortunately, there's like 80 to 100% chance of rain for the next few days, which means it's going to be completely dry.
Yes, it usually works out that way.
It does. But we're on slicks, we have no side windows, it's going to spray the whole engine with water, and we have no wipers. These sound like a lot like excuses, don't they?
Opportunities is what I like to think of them as.
Normal roadkill, we just hop in this thing. But instead, we have an even more absurd plan. First of all, we're gonna put this on a trailer. Second of all, we're gonna tow it behind Mike's new truck.
You love my choice in vehicles. I know you do. This is amazing.
It's amazing, I'll give you that.
Oh, so this is a 1986 Chevrolet Crew Cab Dually that might have been stretched a little bit into a limousine for a very specific purpose. And that purpose was picking up patrons from one bar to take them to a club where people might take their clothes off, allegedly.
This isn't making me want to ride in this truck.
Well, I'm sure they cleaned it before they sold it to me, you know? No, they didn't. They did not at all. And I don't know if it runs or drives. There's a car phone, dude.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, look, wood grain wheel.
I'm all in.
Two-tone velour, brown carpet, dude. I mean.
It's disgusting. It's a big block. Does it run?
I mean, it did when I bought it, but I let it sit here for probably a year, so.
Here's the thing about this episode is Finnegan is absolutely showing his ass.
I didn't see it at first, but yeah, that's Harry S.
He's cute.
So we're at Hot Rod Ranch here in Lompoc, California, and we've been here a bunch of times because Gil and his brothers have a knack for finding all of the cool automotive treasures. In fact, they were the ones that found the '66 Corvette that I bought that we fixed up on Roadkill and road tripped here. And the last time we were here during that trip is when I fell in love with this red behemoth right here. We're gonna try to get it running here today by dragging it in the building, and then we're gonna road trip it with Freiburger's car on the back until we can find a drag strip that is not underwater.
That's good.
Sweet.
This is my 1956 Chevy that we call the field car. I bought it years ago as a bare body with no front clip. And the thing is, it was mint, no rust whatsoever. Meanwhile, the Hot Rod Garage Show on Motor Trend had a '56 Chevy that they rebuilt, and it had a rusty pile of garbage for a body, but they made the frame great. So on an episode of Roadkill Garage, Steve Dulcich and I did a body and frame swap. We put the Hot Rod Garage chassis underneath my '56 Chevy body. Later on, we ended up installing what we call the COVID 350. It's a 350 small block Chevy that I built during the pandemic lockdowns, and I just used like spare parts in my garage to make that happen. It made 500 horsepower on an episode of Engine Masters, and it runs to 7,000 RPM. This car's great. I think the quickest that it's been at this point in the quarter miles, 11:45 at like 118, and that's why I wanted to drag race race it this week, and I don't think we're going to get a shot until the very end of the episode when they claim it's not going to rain. Okay, battery. Is there a switcher? How does this work?
There's a isolator right there.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's a solenoid there, and there's a button on the dash, and you can switch from battery to battery. I'm pretty sure this one is dead.
This thing has got the 454 carbureted engine with 230 horsepower.
It's slow enough that you don't need a battery hold down in this. You just put it in there and call it good, I guess.
All right, I'm gonna see if it'll crank. Oh, wow. Only has one dead hole. Hear how it cranks fast once? That's one cylinder with no compression. Starting fluid, maybe? That's a quadjet. Install about a quart of gas in there. Ready?
Give it a shot.
That's gonna work.
All right. That sounds really bad.
Is this how it runs? Oh, the choke's completely closed. Hold on, let me get a screwdriver. See, it fires right up. Let me throw some more gas in it. Just a little splash.
Now we have fire.
Yeah, we do.
All right, we're troubleshooting. Why doesn't it want to run? Well, it's pretty apparent it doesn't have fuel going to the carburetor. We're not sure that both tanks have fuel in them. We're not sure that the switching selector valve between the tanks work. We're not sure the fuel pump's working. Is the ignition on?
Yes,
Okay, go ahead and switch it.
switched.
Switch it again. Oh, hold on. I don't think the fuel switcher's doing anything. Either it's totally dead back here or I don't have a good ground. I'm not sure which. I don't know. You may want to check fuses
Okay.
because nothing's lighting up back here.
Heater, stop hazard, taillights, gauges, and there's a bunch of other aftermarket wires going in it. We're trying to troubleshoot the valve back there that switches between the passenger and driver's side tank, and it looks like there's no power, so we've bypassed the fuse block. Okay, it should be hot now, and we're jumping from the battery direct to back there, and then we'll see if this thing clicks up here and if it does anything. I clicked.
I don't think it's doing anything.
Then it must have another power wire. All right, we messed with that valve in the back. The next thing I'm gonna do is take off the fuel line at the carburetor to see if it's even squirting fuel.
You got a really good rhythm.
There's no fuel in that carburetor.
I'm gonna regret saying this out loud, but rarely has a problem been so obvious that I actually solve it on the first try. I crawled under the truck, trying to find a fuel filter, couldn't find one. But I grabbed this piece of hose, this one little piece of hose that connects the factory hard line from the fuel pump to the tank. And with 2 fingers, I went, that's really squishy. And so I just replaced it. And when I was looking at it, I realized, oh, what? You can't see through this hose. So that's our clog. I have all kinds of fuel coming out of the factory hard line, nothing getting through this hose. And on the other side of this hose is our fuel pump. So we should be good now.
Finnegan found a guilty hose, so we're trusting that it's now gonna work. Ooh, I smell gas up here.
There we go. It's alive!
I have bad news.
The whole carb leaks?
The radiator's barfing everywhere. Or something wet. See?
That's our fuel pump puking out of the little hole on the side of it.
Yes, it is. Oh, that's bad. We need a fuel pump.
We need a fuel pump. All right.
Hey, but your hose was a problem.
Right.
Right?
Well, our fuel pump's junk. We ordered a new one. We're waiting for it to arrive. And while I wait for that, I'm just going to clean. Such luxury. Look at all the velour.
Our fuel pump arrived. While we were waiting, we loaded the 56 on the trailer. Now we're ready to make this change. I'm gonna clamp off the fuel line so that we don't have another big flood, and then I'm gonna force Mike to do this part of it. There you go.
Got it.
Great.
That's where the fuel was puking out earlier.
Okay, as I suspected, the holes in this fuel pump are not big enough for these bolts. They're drilled for 5/16. The engine uses 3/8.
There you go. That's the stuff. Solid.
The mechanical fuel pump is back in place, so we're gonna see if it runs. Pump it. No leak. It's working. You can hear it groaning a little bit, just like power steering does when you turn it all the way to the lock. That's the Hydro Boost, which is the system that uses the power steering pump to do the power brakes also. How do the brakes feel?
First 3 inches don't have anything, but then it has a pedal. I think they need to be bled.
It's drinking down the rear brakes.
It is? So we got a leak somewhere.
We can't catch a break because Roadkill. The master cylinder front half was bone dry.
Well, wheel cylinders in the morning. All right, so we'll stay in Lompoc.
All right, I'm done.
I had fun. I still love it.
It's the next morning, and big surprise, it's still not raining, but we're still working on the truck. Last night, we discovered that the brake pedal goes right to the floor, and one of the master cylinder reservoirs was completely dry, so we're gonna take apart the back brakes and have a look. One down, and now the spidery one. What we're dealing with here is what's called a full floating axle. This design prevents the weight of the vehicle from being carried by the axle. It's got wheel bearings in it, very similar to what you'd typically find in a front drum brake. And it's gonna be a pain in the neck to get apart. There's a adjusting nut in here and we don't have the tool for it, so I'm gonna be chiseling it. Now this should rotate. Okay, there's that. And that, and don't lose that. There we go. Yep. Okay, that's leaking bad. There's brake fluid all over the shoes. I'm seriously worried about spiders here.
When we have brake fluid, that's good news. Things are looking up. We have figured out what's wrong with the brakes on our truck. First, the inner seal for the bearing on the drum was blown out and it was leaking gear oil all over. You can see how messy it is, but also our wheel cylinders were junk and they were leaking everywhere. But we got really lucky because local parts store had brand new ones from Duralast. Old Chevy Crew Cab Dually, not real popular. So the fact that we're able to walk into a parts store and get these bad boys brand new is very good. So we're gonna put these in and keep on trucking. Our brake drums are now ready to be installed. We sent them out to Pacific Brake and Tire here in Lompoc because not only did the drums need to be turned because they weren't round, but the oil seal was stuck in there and we couldn't get it out, and the bearings needed to be repacked. So this is ready to go right back on the truck. And then all we gotta do is bleed the brakes and drive out of here someday. Okay, that drum is in there. The hardware is in there. We are making progress.
We have the brakes all reassembled, and it feels like I have an air bubble about this long in the system. So now we're gonna go bleed.
The horn works. Down.
Up,
Up.
down. Okay, that's it for this side. It's getting pure fluid now.
I'm doing a very important job. I'm setting our factory clock, which functions.
Down,
Down.
bubbles.
Well, we have brakes, but we also have some kind of weird power steering.
This thing has hydro boost, which means the power steering actually activates the power brake booster. It can get air in it, and it's more of a complicated bleeding process than if you're just doing power steering. You have to fire it up with the wheels on dead center and then just move it back and forth really slowly and keep going further and further and further until you are going all the way around. No bubbles. We've got it all bled. There's no bubbles in the power steering reservoir, and it doesn't chatter when you steer it or when you put it on the brakes. The only problem that we seem to have is it doesn't really want to take throttle, right? Oh, that's not bad.
That time it was better.
Yeah, we think maybe it's bad gas. Don't know, don't care. We're going to sleep, and tomorrow morning we will drive it for the first time. All right, first thing in the morning, we are test driving this thing, as promised.
It's in the sun. I don't know if it's gonna make it to the drag strip. It just, that's half throttle. Oh, there we go. There we go, all right.
How's the brakes?
Oh, brakes
great.
Money.
It's the best part.
I wonder if the fuel filter in that carburetor is clogged from that rubber hose that collapsed.
No, I'm thinking all we have to do is mix new gas in.
Okay. Oh, wait. Hold on.
There you go.
It's fixed.
Except for the death wobble.
Oh. Mud on the tires? Let's go with mud
Let's
on
hope.
the tires.
Yeah.
Mud on the tires, yeah.
That's 230 horsepower.
Yeah, I mean, it got better somehow by leaving. Now it accelerates great. 75, which is probably 70.
It's pretty smooth.
Yep. Maybe it needed to warm up and whistle while it worked.
Or maybe the choke needed to open. How about crack the vent window just a little bit? I thought you would know all these square body tricks.
Let's go hook a trailer to it.
Stop. Okay, we're good. And we're off. How's it feel?
Oh, dude, it's like it's not even there.
Oh yeah, people love it.
People love it, see?
Everyone's waving. They love it. Hello? It's the 56 Chevy calling.
What does it want?
It's collect. Yeah, I accept the charges. It says slow down so it can catch up.
I'm gonna floor it. Ready?
Yeah. I'm ready.
That was it.
Go.
That's
Oh.
it. I mean, it's going. There
It's
we
on
go.
the wood.
There we go.
Oh, transmission shifts well. If the trailer was back there wagging, we wouldn't even know it or feel it.
This truck's so long, it probably won't let it wag.
I feel like my 56 is in another zip code.
You just made me laugh, and now I have the hiccups.
Now we're heading to Eagle Field, which is surprisingly a track I've never been to.
I didn't know that. I thought you'd already been here. How many drag strips have you been to, Dave?
106.
Whoa.
Yeah, Brian Loans and I collect them. He's way over 200 at this point. Even if they're closed, you can mark it on your list. You just have to have been there. And so I'm going to be able to mark Eagle Field off my list, even though we're not going to be able to race. I've also kept track of how many tracks I've actually raced down, because that's the only way I can beat Loans. And it's like 52 or something like that.
Oh, you've made passes of 50. That's impressive.
Something like that, yeah. 1.5 miles. Have arrived. Gates open. Wow, this is cool.
This is it, dude. It starts way back there. Yeah, this is the finish line of the track.
Okay. And this is an active airfield, so that's great.
I mean, I'm sure they can see this big red thing from the air, right? Stubby Bob's marks should be right out here somewhere. Oh, yeah.
They labeled the Stubby Bob mark for you with the water bottle. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Full on.
That's the trailer hitch.
Yep.
That is deep. If we were at a drag strip, they would have made me pay for that. And I would have just ran away, because that's expensive.
Hardcore. So this is where all 6 wheels came off the ground.
This is hitch dug in, stood straight up, motor trying to fall out of it, all 6 wheels off the ground.
Drive shaft wobbling around.
Yeah, this is, wow, I'm so glad we came here because, what was that, 5 years ago?
We did some kick-ass wheelies.
Dude, we did.
Oh my God.
We did.
So this is Eagle Field. Like most airfields all over the country, this was a World War II deal. It was a training field. They taught kids how to fly planes. Wasn't really used as a drag strip back in the day, as many of these were. But in 2009, they started doing the retro drags here. And it's a big deal, and I've never been here before, but all my friends have. So super cool.
This place is awesome.
Let's go.
Dinner?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dinner. That's bright. This thing has been awesome. Actually mint until last night when we got off the freeway and it died a bunch of times and we don't know what's wrong with it. And the power steering's leaking all over the floor. So we're gonna have a look at spark plugs in the carburetor and junk like that.
What if when you took the air cleaner off and put it back on, one of the hoses just didn't go back on? We have a vacuum leak.
Oh, almost 90% probability.
Then let's not do the spark plugs.
All right, go for it. Let's pull the air cleaner off.
All right.
Yeah, we need a new filter too. Oh, there you go.
Vacuum leak?
Yeah, probably not enough to make a difference, but yes, that is a vacuum leak.
All right, where did that go to?
Right there.
All right, let's put that on.
The Quadrajet has a secondary air door in the back. It's kind of what opens and gives them that kind of sound when you're flooring it. And our stick's open, which is going to give us issues. And so we're going to clean and lubricate that. I'm calling that fixed. Oh, there's no vacuum here. It's ported vacuum.
It's getting smoother.
It runs on 7, but it's good.
Seems good.
Let's go. Nope, needs a little bit more oomph. Ooh, that was close. There, boom! That was nice. Ready, Mike?
Ready, Dave. Let's go see another drag strip.
Kingdon Drag Strip is the goal. We're only 12 minutes away. Man, I thought we were gonna be able to go on the track at least.
You mean the airstrip?
Yeah.
Where the planes are landing?
Right. At least in. Yeah, that's kind of the rule. You kind of got to stand on the actual, like, plot of land.
This one won't count.
This one counts.
You're not standing on the starting line.
You don't have to stand on the starting line. We made it.
Kingdon Drags.
What counts as having visited a drag strip? I'm okay with finding a sign. I would rather be on the starting line. Unfortunately, this is an active airport. We don't really have permission to be here. We'll go look around and I'll tell you what it's all about.
See,
That's the starting line right there.
Now you can claim it, because we're over here.
Wait, I have to touch the tarmac. Ready?
Right.
There, we're not allowed to go further. This was a Army airfield. It was actually called the Kingbury Auxiliary Airfield when it was first founded in World War II. Later on, it changed to Kingdon, obviously. Here's the good part. You know who Big Daddy Don Garlits is, right? Mm-hmm. Don Garlits, arguably one of the greatest racers of all time. People call him the greatest drag racer of all time. But he was kind of nobody here on the West Coast in 1959 when he came out and raced at Bakersfield at the March meet. So he shows up out there with his dragster, and all of the Californians, first of all, they call him Don Garbage, and they just smoke him really badly. They beat him, and he's like, I can't have this. So Garlits goes to Iski Cams down in Los Angeles, puts a supercharger on his car for the very first time. That's why the Californians were beating him. They had blowers, he didn't. And so, 2 weeks after the March meet, he comes right here, and this is where Big Daddy Don Garlits ran a supercharged Hemi for the very first time.
Oh, that is cool.
We should roadkill this.
Yeah.
I wish to death I was racing my 56 here. I guess our last chance for drag racing, it is going to be Reading Drag Strip, where we have actual permission to be on the track and run my car.
Oh, well, let's go there then.
200 miles away.
Nice.
This thing is huge.
She's beautiful.
Ask me how many drag strips I've been to.
How many drag strips have you been to, Dave?
108. That's a recurring gag, by the way. 106, 107, 108. Tomorrow will be 109.
Oh, STD. Stripper truck diesel.
I have the keys. I dropped the keys. So it's my turn?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I got you something. It's random.
Thanks. Didn't know you cared.
I care that much.
Feels so Christmassy.
I'm not gonna ride shotgun. I'm gonna take full advantage of the situation.
Sir, may I take you to the airport?
Drive, James. Don't talk, just drive.
Oh, this is my first time driving this thing. Okay, here we go. This is long.
Whoa, easy there, guy. Hey,
Brakes work pretty good.
Dude.
What? I'll just cruise the roundabout while you're figuring it out and having your first course.
Nope. This is life. Oh, all right. Let's save that for the dog. Oh, man. It's good to be me.
This is actually plastic. Not even scented, not even flocked. Oh, we're screwed. And we're running out of gas. Oh, no steering, no brakes. I was driving this thing along. Finnegan was asleep in the back. It's my first time at the wheel. The truck dies. I pull it over here into this really awkward, bad situation, and it's puke and power steering fluid everywhere.
Yeah, Freiburger broke it.
I'm hoping it did that just because I was steering the thing without the engine running.
Dude, I know. You give the guy the keys for 3 miles. Well, look what happens.
Anyway, we had gas with us.
I can't even have a nice meal. You know, can't even eat it while it's warm.
All right, this thing's been getting about 5.5 miles to the gallon. That picked up.
All right, we have 3 gallons. We need to hurry to a gas station.
I hope we make it.
We got this. It's the greatest truck ever!
This is it.
Reading drag strip. That's a cool sign.
That's really neat. We made it. The final drag strip on this particular journey.
It's gonna be a good day. This is the kind of air to make horsepower in.
Finnegan, ask me how many drag strips I've been to.
Freiburger, what does this make? How many strips?
109! And finally, on this trip, we're gonna get to race the 56.
There we go.
The density altitude right now, which is like altitude corrected for temperature and pressure, is below sea level. So if it will hook up on a cold track, the 56 should run quicker than ever. I'm gonna put on my race suit because it's cold.
Yeah, you are wearing flip-flops, brother.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed.
I'm gonna unload the 56 and we're in action.
All right.
Yeah. Will it run in this freezing cold weather? When a track is cold, you can have dew problems and also the glue isn't sticky. So we're gonna wait for that to warm up. And while we are, I have to fix some stuff on this. I wanna change spark plugs. The last guy who drove it was Gil from Hot Rod Ranch. He ran it up at a Tucson Dragway event and it went 1170s, but he told me that it had a big misfire problem. These spark plugs are all really rich from running at high altitude at Tucson. And now we're at much lower density altitude, so there's more air, which will automatically lean it out. The next thing I'm gonna look at here is the rear shock adjustment. The last time we ran this at Famoso, it had too much separation. It was driving the tire into the ground so hard that it was like flattening the slick. And I think we found out that the optimum number of clicks on the QA1 shock is 6, so I'm just gonna verify that's where they are. 6. Okay, that's done. Man, Gil told me this thing had a problem where the ignition would just shut off, and I just experienced, it's like you're cruising along and it just goes, That's it. It's not like a misfire. It's like you turned it off, turned it back on really fast. I've gone through and checked all the connections. I can't find anything except for the main power to the MSD box is on the back of the ignition switch, which is super sketch. So we're gonna take a wire and run it all the way to the battery. I wonder if we can connect it right here.
Oh, yeah.
There are 2 red wires coming off an MSD box. One of them is switched to ignition. The other one is supposed to go straight to the battery. Mine goes to the back of the ignition switch, which is not the way you're supposed to do it. So I'm gonna fix it.
Okay. You look good. Just go fast. It's perfectly smooth. It's perfectly prepped. There's no wind. Feel good. You got this. That's a burnout right there, boy.
That didn't work.
So I think on his first attempt, he pretty much just dumped the clutch because it did a good job of smashing the tire into the ground and just spinning as it took off. He's either gonna have to leave at a lower RPM or ride the clutch out of the hole because it's really cold here.
Okay, that was a 4,000 RPM leave. Let's see what we can get. That's annoying.
So our rewiring trick did not solve the problem of the ignition completely shutting off in the middle of the run.
Bummer. It spun a little bit on that 3,000 RPM leave. You know, the track is really cold. Looks like my belt didn't fly off because my temperature is good. There it did it again. Did you hear that? No idea what that's about.
Dude, not bad. It turned off though, didn't it?
It shut off.
Damn. You're on 1144 at a $1.19, dude. It bogged. So you can go a little more in between. There's more in the launch.
But let's not overlook the fact that it just went quicker than it ever has been.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
It sounded amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a time slip.
Oh, cool.
Data?
Show. So that's a mile an hour quicker than or faster than it's been. Did you hear it shut off?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you fire it up and I'll jiggle this wire. Let's see what happens here. Okay. I don't see anything here. Why don't I go out there and jiggle the wires to the coil? It was on there between the plastic and the terminal. It wasn't in the terminal.
Oh. Let's pinch those down and make them go on tighter.
Okay. You got this. More cowbell, it'll go faster.
All right, first launch was 4,000. Second launch was 3,000. We're gonna try 35.
Okay, task number 3. We just tightened up some connections on the coil, went through all the connections on the ignition box and ignition switch. It all seems to be pretty good now. He's gonna raise the launch RPM about 500. I think it's gonna go quicker. Did it again.
It spun really hard and then it shut off. That is so annoying. Okay, we're gonna have to look into that ignition switched wire.
You're lined up on bald spots out there, whether
Okay.
it's the middle or the left.
I think we need to chase the ignition wire to the box now.
This thing's making some power, man. It's running more mile an hour than it ever has. Need to work on the whole shot a little bit, but more importantly, it just keeps turning off right around the top of third gear every pass. And so we've looked through all the wiring as best we can. We're now gonna isolate the ignition wiring for the ignition box from everything else in the car. We're gonna add another toggle switch in the car that'll just turn the box on and off. Go make another hit and see if it shuts off again. I think you just need more laps in this thing and it's gonna do it.
It just cut.
It just cut off while he was doing the burnout. He's gonna go anyway. .1170 at 119. It didn't sound like it shut off. It did bog when he left the line though.
So I bank shift 1-2 and it slipped the clutch. So after that, I started granny shifting it. Probably not gonna add up to my best pass. It spun the clutch on the 1-2.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yep.
It didn't sound like it shut off this time though.
It didn't. It shut down a couple times on the way down, but it didn't do it down the track.
That's so strange.
It is so strange.
Well, I just say go again and have fun.
I will, but I think we're gonna kiss my clutch adios as I do. Did it twice! Man!
It just keeps getting worse, man. We just keep getting roadkill. Hey, what if the coil's taking a crap?
Maybe.
We're still having that ignition cutout problem. We've fixed every wire we can fix, so now we're changing the ignition coil. And if that doesn't work, then our only hope is the ignition box, but we're also running out of time here.
It's brand new to us, but it's chrome, and chrome always works.
You know where that came from? It came off that fire truck right there.
Fire truck's gonna save the day. Hopefully, you know, not later on the track, but like right here, right now.
Yeah.
It's shutting off still.
Yeah, all right. I'll take it. I'll take it. 1149, real close to his PB. Still turning off though.
Our last choice is to change the ignition box.
Why not?
I
Let's
know.
do it.
Fortunately, the guys here at Reading Drag Strip said that they could actually dial us in with a box exactly like the one we have. So I say let's give it a shot. We're down to 45 minutes. Make it happen.
Let's speed things up. You back up. That's where the tools are.
But hey, look at the bright side. The car already has run its quickest ET ever at 1144, and I just went 1149 at the same mile an hour, 119. So we're actually doing pretty good in a roadkill kind of way.
Now, we're taking the box out of the car and wire nut this other box in here and hope that solves the problem, because Dave, I think, has figured out the drag strip and the whole shot thing, because he just laid down his second best pass today.
You know what this car needs that would fix all of this? A blower. That would fix it.
Wow, what a day. Never forget, we have the coil out of a fire truck and an ignition box we borrowed from a bystander.
It hasn't popped yet.
This is gonna be great.
Oh, that was it.
We're out of gas?
No.
Let me see if the light is blinking on the box. Wow, it just keeps getting worse. Turn the ignition on.
On.
Go ahead and crank it. It's blinking. That's weird, dude.
That's got no spark. Nope. Pop the distributor cap, see if the rotor broke.
Okay, crank it. All right, hold on. It's on there. It's not loose. Rotor's fine.
You could change the pickup in the distributor.
Yeah, let's do that.
Here's the next step. I was pulling to the starting line, and the thing just flat died and won't refire and has no spark. Another one of the guys here at the track brought us a distributor, and we're gonna change the magnetic pickup inside the thing.
We're now attempting to change the magnetic pickup, except we can't get it out of our old distributor. So we're now changing the distributor. Once it comes out of the motor, we have to retime the motor.
So here's the other thing. That has a bronze distributor drive gear on it right there, and you can see that our new distributor has a steel one, and that's not gonna work with our solid roller camshaft. So now we have to put that gear on this distributor. Ooh, nice.
Beautiful. Okay. All right, that's our gear going on his distributor.
Here's one thing to know when you're doing this. A factory Chevy distributor has a .491 inch
shaft in it, and the aftermarket MSD one, and most aftermarket ones, is a 500 shaft. So that's very, very similar, but it will mess you up if you're trying to change these gears and have the wrong thing. All right, let's go.
Sweet.
Oh, dude.
Nice. Which one's number 1?
1.
Okay, so here's 2.
Cranking.
There's no spark, dude.
This is ridiculous. We just spent all that time changing a distributor, changing the coil, changing every bit of wiring, and it was that we had 2 ignition boxes that failed. At least that's what I think. Maybe this one's gonna die too because of something we did wrong. I don't know. Okay, it's got vacuum advance, so you have to give it about 4,000, I think. Okay. Okay, let me tighten that down. Boy, was that a thrash. 3 ignition boxes to make this happen, man.
Come on, Freiburger, you can do this. New PB, no more boxes in this car. Done.
That wasn't my full-on bang shifting best. I was a little nervous after missing that 1 gear. All the vitals look good. Ooh, the clutch is not awesome. But you know what? It didn't misfire on the way down.
That was great.
Did we actually win?
Yeah, man.
What did it do?
1138 at $120.
Nice.
New PB.
120.
Yeah, man. Left like a boss. They'll let you go 1 more if you want.
Awesome. Okay, let's go.
I knew it. All right, we're gonna go 1 more, and then we're drinking heavily.
See if we can do it again, only better.
Dude, it went even faster.
That was bang shifting right there, man. The clutch slipped, but that was bang shifting. No lift. The greatest thing about this car is how the front end rises when you bang second. So fun. This car's awesome. You know what? That was a long way to go, but all of that work was worth it. That is a Roadkill win. Finnegan's super truck dually towed flawlessly all the way here, and then we finally sorted out the field car. Woo!
Dude.
What was it?
It went 121 and change.
Really?
1141. You were off 300. It's no big deal.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I was bang shifting that thing.
That was the most violent shift I've ever seen out of this car.
I did not mess around, and the clutch slips between every single one of them.
Yeah, well, you can hear it flare, but
Yeah.
I think that might actually be helping you. Keeps the RPMs up, you know? That was some of the greatest bang shifting of my life. And it's all in one piece. It's got everybody else's parts all over it, but it's all in one piece. I feel that was a win, and we're quitting while we're ahead, which is unusually responsible in season 12 of Roadkill. Yeah, we're getting more mature. Nah. 2 more burnouts is what you're saying. No, out. Oh. Let's pack it up. Okay. Man, that was fun. It was awesome. Thank you for watching Roadkill. Whew.